to do a little bit of housekeeping before we move on. I'm going to set another rule. Listen to black women, okay? Nah, no, don't laugh. I'm not being funny. Listen to black women, because I don't know how many times I told somebody today, don't do that, and they didn't listen to me. And then I look mean. And I don't care, because I can deal with it, but not every black woman wants to have to fight to be heard. All right? Because this is centering blackness, and we had somebody try and center something else, we are going to do that chant. Now I'm going to do the instructions again so everyone can hear. No justice, no peace, take a beat. I know some people might have a problem with that. We're going to work it through. White people, no racist police. We got that? No justice, no peace. White people?
No racist police!
No justice, no peace.
No racist police!
No justice, no peace. No racist
police! No justice, no peace! No racist police! No justice, no peace! No racist police! No justice, no peace! No racist police! No justice, no peace!
Louder!
No racist police!
Louder!
No justice, no peace! No racist police!
If you do it really loud, I'll shake my bum.
Racist police!
No justice, no peace. No racist police.
No justice, no peace! No racist police! No racist police! No justice, no peace!
Louder! We're in a song. How did that feel? Now, when we do it together, it's really clear. And when we are not in unison, that message is not clear. So, we are going to chant later, but now we're going to have a speaker.
Please welcome our third speakers, our group of speakers, Samhar Abraha and Sinit Abraha.
How are you all doing today? Okay, before we start, we would like to acknowledge the land that we're all standing on today, Treaty 7, the indigenous land, the native land. So let's put our emotions aside, and we will be talking about the power of information today. Yeah, as they said, I'm Sunita Abraha. I'm the Political Science Association president from the University of Calgary. My sister right here is Samhar Abraha. She's the representation of Black Excellence in the University of Calgary. She's the first exec, to the first VP academic in the University of Calgary Student Union. So quick tally here. How many of you know your MP or your MLA? Okay, that's a good number. That's a good amount of people. We have a piece to share with you today, and I hope you can learn something from it and share it with your MP tonight on social media, on Twitter. Make it a hashtag and just let them hear us for once. Information. Information may not seem as powerful as a protest or a march of 10,000s of us raising our voice against injustice, but it is. Information showed us how George Floyd was murdered. Information has shown us what happened to thousands of murdered and missing Black and Indigenous women in Canada. Information is showing protecting the most vulnerable in society and what we need to do to help us, to help all of us. If we truly want to deal with systemic and institutionalized racism, then we need to have the information to combat that racism. Race-based information is the key to real change. The idea of race-based information is scary. What will happen with it? How will white supremacists and people who want to maintain the status quo use it against us? How will they use this against real change? But we already know that there is inequalities in our society. Everybody does. Having race-based data will give us the information to prove what we already know. Can all of us please say, race-based data?
Race-based data!
Race-based data!
Race-based data!
Race-based data! Having race-based data would give us the information to stand up to those who are trying to silence our voice by saying, this doesn't happen in Canada. But we all know it happens in Canada. We live it, we feel it, we see it. Social injustice could be tackled in all its forms, like the social injustice of racism, the social injustice of poverty, the social injustice of food insecurity, the social injustice of educational opportunities, the social injustice of job opportunities, of housing, of our health, and more. Race-based data will prove what we already know and experience as Black people in Canada. It will prove that more needs to be done. It will show everyone what's not working and what needs to be changed. This information will provide all of us with opportunities to come up with new ideas on how to deal better with the injustice in our society, how to break down what it is, and how to build a better Canada that will benefit all Canadians, especially the most vulnerable and unheard. It will show the systemic and institutionalized racism for what it is, and that there is no denying it, and that a more just society needs real change and reform. Helping the most vulnerable and the unheard, helping the Black community, helps us all as a country.
Yes!
It gives us the opportunity to build a society where everyone can reach their full potential, so we can contribute fully, a society where each one of us can stay alive and grow old and watch their children and grandchildren without getting killed on the streets. A society which nurtures each one of us, not because it's the right thing to do, but because it's the best thing to do. It is actually the best thing to do. The government of Canada already collects gender-based information to develop policies and goals to eliminate gender-based discrimination. And it is working. Race-based data could be used the same for all of us. All Canadians like us who already know what needs to be changed and what needs to be done and needs to prove it for those who fail to see it. Not because it's not there, but they don't want to see it. They don't want to acknowledge it. So right now, starting today, we have the opportunity to push for real systemic change that will make Canada the envy of the world. Right now, we have an opportunity to eliminate systemic and institutionalized racism that we know exists by being bold, by being courageous, by standing like you all are doing right now, and by standing up and saying our voices matter, our voices must be heard. Repeat after us. Our voices matter. Our voices must be heard. Our voices must be heard.
Our voices matter! Our voices must be heard!
Our voices matter.
Our voices must be heard!
Our voices matter. Our only be heard if you are bold enough and courageous enough to say that race-based information must be collected and acted upon by each one of us, by our community, by the police, by the city, by the province, and by the government of Canada, and the all governments around the world. Ignorance cannot be what anyone hides behind in 2020. Ignorance only leads to modern day lynching by the police of people like George Floyd, Regis, Ahmed Aubrey, Breonna Taylor, Samuel Abalad, and so on. It's a big list, guys. It's not fair. Ignorance only leads to more Indigenous women and girls going missing and being murdered. Ignorance only leads to more of us losing their breath and dying because of police brutality, hate crimes, for simply existing. So we deserve better. Our families deserve better. Our community deserve better. Most definitely Canada deserves better. To all of us today, if we want to make change to happen, we should make it happen. We should work on it. Repeat after us. Race-based data.
Race-based data.
Race-based data.
Race-based data.
Race-based data.
Race-based data.
We deserve better.
We deserve better.
We deserve better.
We deserve better.
We deserve justice.
We deserve justice.
We deserve change.
We deserve change.
We want change.
We want change.
Thank you, everybody. So today, take your phones out and put in a hashtag or Twitter. Get the message out. We have to make change to happen.
Thank you so much, Semhar. I just wanted to add something to, because Semhar was talking about some policy. We've heard about Bill 1. It has not passed yet. It's trash. What it wants to do, they want to make it so that we can't do this again. Right? That's not happening. This is the first one I've been to in Calgary. That's garbage. It's garbage. We should be able to come together and say what our issues are, and we should be able to do that united. Bill 1 is specifically done to oppress people of Indigenous backgrounds. Because they don't want any more pipelines, and they've been protesting, and they have not been heard. If you don't hear Indigenous people, for sure you're not going to hear Black people in Calgary, in Canada. So, we're going to talk about policy. Let's talk about Bill 1. It's trash. Vote against it. I also want everybody to see right here, we have an ASL translator. We have an ASL translator because people have different kinds of abilities. So our disabled family who are Black, they need your protection. They should not be in their homes by themselves. You should be finding them and talking to them and including them and thinking about them and asking them what they need and then providing it. I say this because our next speaker is Ebony. That is her name, and she's a deaf Black woman. And messed it up time and time and time again, and I am going to keep trying until I do it right. So, everybody who thinks that I only have rules for everyone else, those rules apply to me. When I mess it up, I hold myself accountable. And I do my best to fix it. So every time I invite Ebony somewhere, I try and have an ASL translator, interpreter. I don't know if I messed that up. I'm sorry. I am also going to endeavor to learn sign language because Ebony should not only be speaking to people outside of her race about issues, about her life, about her experience. And I want everybody to make sure you hear everything Ebony is going to have her voice today. Please welcome Ebony.
It works, however it works. I want to take just a minute of peace. I want to show you how wonderful it is to be here after COVID, for all of us to be so brave to come here. Sign this, it means I love you. Put your hand in the air so it looks like this. That means I love you. This is your body being involved in the learning that we're doing today. Eyes, let's go forward. I know most of you don't know me. My name is Ebony. My last name is Gooden. I am a proud black woman. I am proud and black and tough. I'm proud to be black even when it's hard. I'm proud to be a woman even when it's hard. And I'm proud to be deaf even when it's hard. My hands are shaking right now. I'm feeling very emotional. I'm a little scared. I'm in grief. I'm angry. What has happened to bring us here has made me feel these feelings. Showing the police pushing someone against a wall, telling me to sit down, police oppressing me because I'm a black woman. Because I was trying to protect a friend I was with a friend who was talking suicide, and I was trying to protect them, and they told me to sit down. I was born in the States, and I moved to Calgary 20 years ago, and I feel I'm scared. I want to tell you the story of a black deaf man whose name was Pearl Pearson, who almost died. Thank God, thank you God, thank you for keeping him alive.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that story. He was driving on his way home when the police pulled him over. They told him to get out of the car. He put his hands in the air, but of course he couldn't hear. He kept pointing to his ear to show them that he couldn't hear. They began punching him. He almost died from the brutality. He had a card he was trying to show them that said, "I'm deaf." And there's video that shows the police going, oh, you're deaf. Oh, I missed that. Ha ha. I'm scared because I was in the march last Wednesday. Many of you here were on that march, but I was the only black deaf woman there. I'm the only black deaf woman in Calgary. That's it. There's one of me here in this entire city. And there aren't any black deaf interpreters here. Well, there's one, but I've never even met her. Never shows up to interpret. When we were chanting, I was standing there not knowing the words. I didn't know what was happening. I could feel my anger. I could feel my grief. I could feel my fear. And then an interpreter showed up. Just showed up. Started to interpret. And then I could feel like my anger was part of the entire room's anger, the entire group's anger. I felt like we were all one. I didn't have, if I was feeling scared, I could feel scared with them. That's accessibility, and that matters. It matters. I don't want to be separate from all of you. With accessibility, I can be part of what you're doing. I can show that my feelings are the same as yours, that we are together. I see you here. It gives me goosebumps. I'm from Washington, D.C.
Your phone's gonna die soon now.
And I know what that means for a lot of you here, and I know that you feel the same fear I do. And what are we afraid of? We protest, we're supportive, but the day will come when you leave, and you'll forget. Black people will still be here. Black people will still feel anger, will still be afraid. I know a lot of times we have a short attention span. As soon as we leave here, it's done. But we have to continue. We have to push through. We have to scream. We have to get this done. We have to make this change. I love you all.
I want more hands. Who has 8 hands? Whoever has 8 hands, put them up. Thank you so much. I want to thank a gentleman here. His name is Landon. He made sure that we had an ASL translator here. I want to encourage everybody to add that to their events, all kinds of events. I also, for our disabled family, who are in wheelchairs, who can't walk. That is part of why we did not walk today. We want to make it accessible. We are live streaming, so the people who are at home, who are seeing this right now, I want to thank you for hearing us, even though you're not here. And I want to talk about my wardrobe change. Did anybody notice we did fashion here?
Love it! Love it!
To thank the gentleman. His name is Joel. He donated this to us. We're gonna keep it moving. I just wanted to add that. Nika, come on up, please.
This type of violence should not be anyone's experience. We denounce police brutality. We remember the victims and we say their names. So for our next part, we will read out the name of victims we found, speak on their life experience, and then say their name so that we can all repeat it together in unison. The following names are victims of police brutality in the United States. Trayvon Martin, February 26, 2012, 17 years old. Trayvon was a football player in high school, and his favorite subject was said to be math. He had a strong interest in aviation and wanted to become a pilot. Say his name, Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin! Jonathan Farrell, September 14th, 2013, 24 years old. Jonathan was a football player who, in the words of his mother, didn't like seeing people on the street needing anything and would be constantly finding ways to give back to his community. Say his name, Jonathan Farrell. Jonathan Farrell! Renisha McBride, November 2nd, 2013, 19 years old. Renisha had recently graduated from high school at the time of her passing. She was a cheerleader and loved having fun with her family, parents, sister, and friends. Say her name, Renisha McBride. Renisha McBride! Michael Brown, August 9th, 2014, 18 years old. Mike was a musician headed to Vatrot College who was known to get philosophical with his friends. Say his name, Michael Brown. Michael Brown! Tamir Rice, November 22nd, 2014, 12 years old. Tamir loved competing in neighborhood sport leagues, playing with Legos, and watching cartoons. Say his name, Tamir Rice. Tamir Rice!
Freddie Gray, April 12, 2015.
25 years old. Freddie was a medical student described by his friends as the life of the neighborhood, who always had a smile on his face. Say his name.
Ready,
Sandra Bland, July 13th, 2015. 28 years old. Sandra was a civil rights activist who volunteered as the summer camp counselor. She was one of 5 sisters. Say her name. Sandra Bland.
Sandra Bland!
Corey Jones, October 18th, 2015. 36 years old. Corey played instruments in football and worked as a mentor for Black youth. Say his name. Corey Jones.
Corey Jones!
Alton Sterling, July 5th, 2016. 37 years old. Alton was a father of 5 who loved to cook, and he is remembered by his friends as always smiling and always laughing and always joking. Say his name. Alton Sterling.
Alton Sterling!
Philando Castile, July 6, 2016, 32 years old. Philando worked in a cafeteria of the St. Paul Public School District and is remembered by the school community as always looking out for the students and making sure they had enough to eat. His family describes him as being deeply kind and caring. Say his name. Philando Castile.
Philando Castile!
Keith Scott, September 20th, 2016, 43 years old. Keith is remembered as a family man, a hard worker, and a father of 7. Say his name. Okay, Jordan Edwards, April 29th, 2017. Oh? Jordan Edwards, April 29th, 2017, 15 years old. Jordan was a football player in his freshman year of high school. He is remembered by his school community as having a great smile and willingness to help those around him. Say his name, Jordan Edwards.
Jordan Edwards!
Stephon Clark, March 18th, 2018, 23 years old. Stephon was proud of his football career. His friend described him as uniquely being able to bring joy and laughter to them. Say his name, Stephon Clark.
Stephon Clark!
Tatiana Jefferson, October 12, 2019, 28 years old. Tatiana was a pre-medical graduate from Xavier University of Louisiana who loved video games and taking care of others. Say her name, Tatiana Jefferson.
Tatiana Jefferson!
Ahmaud Arbery, February 23rd, 2020, 25 years old. Ahmaud stayed healthy by jogging. He was excited to go to college and become an electrician in the fall and is remembered as humble by his family. Say his name, Ahmaud Arbery.
As the youngest child, she was considered the baby of her family and is remembered by them as their glue. Say her name, Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor!
George Floyd. May 24th, 46 years old. George is remembered as a gentle giant by his friends and family. He was called Big Floyd by his close friends. He helped organize Bible study sessions and basketball charity events. Say his name, George Floyd.
George Floyd!
Again.
George
George Floyd!
George Floyd!
One more! George Floyd!
One more!
George Floyd!
Enough! Tony McDade. May 27th, 2020. 38 years old. Tony's friends described him as a person with a big heart and gave him the loving nickname of Tony the Tiger. We recognize every Black person and every Black life. Black trans lives matter. Say his name. Say his name, Tony McDade.
Tony McDade!
Sean Reed, May 6, 2020, 21 years old. Sean spent time in the U.S. Air Force and was described as a smiling class clown, who his sister remembers as being loved by so many people. Say his name, Sean Reed.
Sean Reed!
David McAtee, June 1st, 2020. 53 years old. David owned and operated a barbecue restaurant, Yaya's Barbecue, in Louisville, West End. He was an activist and community figure who provided free food for those in need. Same his name, David McAtee.
David McAtee.
The following names are victims of police brutality in Canada. Ian Price, November 13, 2013, 30 years old. Ian was a son who's described as having a laser beam smile. He loved music and playing hockey as a goalie. Say his name, Ian Price.
Ian Price.
Alan Magloire, February 3rd, 2014, 41 years old. Alan was a father of two who worked with children with disabilities. He had a master's degree in molecular biology and worked as a biochemist and researcher. Say his name, Alan Magloire.
Alan Magloire.
Jermaine Carby, September 24th, 2014, 33 years old. Jermaine's mother remembers the frequent lunches they had together. He was outgoing, friendly, and a loving son. Say his name, Jermaine Carby.
Jermaine Carby.
Mahab Salta, June 26, 2014. Mahab was a happy person who loved basketball. His mom is here with us today, and she wants him to know how much he is loved. Say his name, Mahab Salta.
Mahab Salta.
Andrew Loku, July 5th, 2015, 45 years old. Andrew's family describes him as a happy person, and his older sister remembers him calling her frequently just to chat or sing carols over the phone at Christmas. Say his name, Andrew Loku.
Andrew Loku.
Kwesi Skene Peters, July 25th, 2015, 21 years old. Kwesi is remembered by his friends as sweet and loyal, and by his family as a gift from God. Say his name, Kwesi Skene.
Kwesi Skene.
Abdirahman Abdi, July 24th, 2016, 37 years old. Abdirahman's family called him a wonderful son, amazing brother, and kind-hearted uncle. The Justice for Abdirahman Coalition set up a scholarship for people of African descent pursuing secondary education in Canada. Say his name, Abdirahman Abdi. Pierre Coriolan, June 27, 2017, 58 years old. Pierre was a Haitian immigrant whose sisters fondly remember meeting to share meals often. He was reserved and kind to those around him. Say his name, Pierre Coriolan.
Pierre Coriolan.
Orlando Brown, June 22nd, 2018, 32 years old. Orlando played soccer and was described as honest and caring, friendly, generous, and kind-hearted. Say his name, Orlando Brown!
Orlando Brown!
Orlando Brown!
Nicholas Gibbs, August 21st, 2018, 23 years old. Nicholas's mother remembers him as an amazing father to 3 young children. His family remembers him as community-oriented. Say his name, Nicholas Gibbs.
Nicholas Gibbs.
Matrar Madut, February 23rd, 2019, 43 years old. Matrar was a South Sudanese immigrant who came to Canada and a father of 3. He's described as quiet, polite, industrious, friendly, and a family person. Say his name, Matrar Madut.
Matrar Madut.
DeAndre Campbell, April 7th, 2020. 26 years old, DeAndre was bright and engaged with those around him. His aunt remembers him as fun-loving. He was a loving son, brother, and nephew, and one of 8 siblings. Say his name, DeAndre Campbell.
DeAndre Campbell.
Regis Korchinski Paquette, May 27th, 2020, 29 years old. Her sister remembers her as kind and beautiful. Community members said she was very loved. Her best friend said about Regis, "She is the kindest soul I have ever met." say her name, Regis Korchinski-Paquette.
These are only few of the names we know. There are countless that we do not know and might never know, but we remember them. We stand in solidarity with their families and loved ones. I ask that everyone raise up their cell phone lights or flashlights in a moment of silence in memory of all the Black lives we've lost.
Stop it! Stop it!
You can keep your lights up, I just need to hold the mic. This movement is important. The Black experience is real and must be shared. Black lives matter. I want to thank everyone who was able to come to the vigil this evening, as well as those who are supporting us from afar. In these unjust times, coming together for a cause is essential. I would like to ask that everyone keep raising awareness for these issues by showing up, by signing petitions, and donating if you can. I want to shout out at YYCBLM on Instagram, at We Stand YYC on Instagram, and at Calgary Police Brutality on Instagram for all the strong work they've done this week. These strong women have helped share a very important message, and we couldn't be more appreciative. Ava, leader of Calgary Against Police Brutality, has even started the Calgary Black Empowerment Fund, which aims to affect long-term... Come on, give it up for Ava! Ava has started the Calgary Black Empowerment Fund, which aims to affect long-term change for the Black community and help with Black community initiatives, Black culture and arts, Black nonprofits, equity training, and future political activism. She is an inspiration to our community. It helps show us that the time to act is not only when injustices are brought to light, but at all times. I'll now repeat this in French. Ce mouvement est important. L'expérience des personnes noires est réelle et doit être partagée. Black Lives Matter. Je tiens à remercier tous ceux qui ont pu venir à cette vigile ce soir, ainsi que ceux qui sont avec nous en esprit. Durant ces temps injustes, venir ensemble pour une cause est essentielle. Je voudrais demander à tout le monde de continuer à promouvoir ces problèmes en vous présentant, en signant des pétitions et de faire des dons si possible. J'aimerais me remercier le travail fait par les pages d'Instagram à YYCBLM, at We Stand YYC, et à Calgary Against Police Brutality sur Instagram. Leur travail est important et nous sommes tellement fiers qu'ils nous aident à partager un message tellement important. Ava, la dirigeante de la Calgary Against Police Brutality,
Yeah!
Ava a lancé le Calgary Black Empowerment Fund qui vise à effectuer des changements à long terme pour la communauté de personnes noires et à soutenir les initiatives de la communauté noire, la culture et les arts des personnes noires, les organisations à but non lucratif pour la communauté noire, des formations d'équité, ainsi que l'activisme politique dans le futur. Elle est une inspiration pour notre communauté. Le moment d'agir n'est pas seulement lorsque les injustices sont visibles, mais en tout temps. Et on la remercie de nous aider à voir ça. Merci beaucoup d'être venu pour exprimer en solidarité avec la communauté de personnes noires et pour votre soutien du mouvement Black Lives Matter. Ceci est la fin de la vigile. Rentrez chez vous en toute sécurité, s'il vous plaît. Thank you so much for coming to stand in solidarity with the Black community and for supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. This is the end of our vigil, and we hope that everyone gets home safely. We'd also like to mention that Ava has brought some resources, some pamphlets that you can look at for supporting Calgary and the Black community, as well as supporting Black businesses. There's a gentleman here every week named John who has a Black library at Olympic Plaza who's helping promote African and Black literature. So that is one way you can support in Calgary. Hello? Excuse me, you right here? Yes, come.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I also need Vivid Rose Photography.
Ava? Yeah, come. Okay, we have some people who we want black people to do well. So we have some black business resources that I'm gonna be quiet. Say it.
Hello. I'm just going to take a deep breath here because I'm very overwhelmed by by the magnitude of people that are here. This is something, you can't simply put it at the word of importance. It is paramount that everybody here is present for this matter. So to begin on the first note, we're going to have some pamphlets that are going to be passed about right after we're done. The main purpose of that is that we let the public know, allies and all alike, people from the Caribbean, from Africa, black Americans born and raised here, about the businesses here that are owned by Caribbeans and Africans and whatnot. The purpose of that is we've been speaking for the past 2 protests, including today, about how you can help with making sure that, black businesses are heard. We can't just say support black businesses now, can we? No, we need to give you a chance to know where to begin. So we've got a pamphlet, and I really, really want you guys to have a look at these. Try the cuisines about. There'll be, barbershops, they'll be giving free cuts. So for all of you that have got, the quarantine look, get that done. But that should not be the subject of matter today. It shouldn't take away from why we are here. Ava and I were on cloud 9, as I imagine all of you are with this, and we wanted to talk about how, as a people, we can converse with each other. For me, it's, you can see me shaking, this is how it feels. It's, we talk about police brutality, and as we have said before, this mustn't be for consumption. It needs to continue, it needs to be exponential for how it is presented to the public. Cruelty we see every day. You see the videos. We had to see this man be killed, these women be thrown off buildings, men dragged out of their cars by their dreads. Now must that continue? No! Must that continue? No! You know what's worse than cruelty? Because cruelty recognizes the wrong, the hate. No, it's indifference that is wrong. It is indifference. And talking about Canada, it's not blatant, it doesn't exactly show its face. It's subtle, it's got the niceties and proprieties. We all age about it. Well, you know what? Propriety be damned. We're gonna say what needs to be said. Propriety be damned. It's uncomfortable, it's unsettling, but it is the truth. And the truth is not something you negotiate with. It is not. The truth is not something you negotiate with. Take that in. Say no to indifference. Black lives are necessary. Black lives are necessary. Black lives are necessary. Thank you.
I'm brief, but I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you for supporting this movement and this cause, and essentially supporting humanity, because that's what we're doing. There's only one love, change through unity, and I'm so excited to get community initiatives going in Calgary and changing this shit. So woo! Thank you.
Someone fell again?
We're not chanting when somebody is not healthy. No, 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 no. Somebody isn't doing well. We're going to have a moment of silence to make sure that they are taken care of, that the people who need to help them can hear.
I'm sorry.
All right. I feel like they are being attended to. So thank you for caring about this person. Look at how we did that. Did you see that? Everybody took a moment and cared about the person who needed help. Easy. You can do it every time you see a black person. I want to end on this. Love the messy black people. Yeah, no, I'm not joking. Love the messy black people. The ones that like irritate you, or are mean like me, or are loud, or are sex workers, or you feel like they're mentally ill, or like they don't have a job, or whatever it is. Because all of the Black Lives Matter. I want to thank everybody who donated to us. We could not do this with all the people who donated water and sanitizer and masks and their time. Security team, thank you. Our ASL people, our support people, our speakers, all of these people up here. Everybody make lots of noise. More noise. Do your hands. Do your hands. Yes. I want to send a message to black people. Anything that you do to keep yourself alive is perfect. I want to send a message to white people. Go and find out about racism. Do it with humility. Black people are the experts, even if you don't like what they're saying, even if you feel like it's wrong. We are going to work this out together. I love all of you. I did not expect to see this many people here. Calgary, keep showing up. Calgary, keep loving each other. Calgary, we're going to show the world we're an international city, and everybody is welcome here. Oh, I'm sorry. I need people to clean up after themselves, please. We can do this. There are X's on the ground. Pick them up and put them in the garbage. If you have masks, if you have gloves, pick them up and put them in the garbage. Do it. Thank you.